I'm feeling some fucking John Doyle. Now, first off, can we take a moment to appreciate... Listen, you guys talk about fashion. This is actually a sick-ass jacket right here. Look at this. This is sleek as fuck, okay? Catch me with the fucking gold watch. Catch me outside wearing this shit. Forget the spud wearing it, okay? That's a sick-ass fucking coat jacket thing right there. That's a terrible jacket. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What do you want? What do you want? Hot fashion. What do you want? Is this gonna be porn? We're risking it. Porn, 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 porn. I don't see any porn. All of this is just ladies wearing basically nothing, and I'm pretty sure there was porn in there. What the fuck do you want? Yeah, I saw titty too. Yeah, thank you, Crystal Dream 47. I think this is a nice jacket. Do you guys really not think this is a nice jacket?
Sucks ass.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Mainstream fashion is dog shit.
This isn't mainstream fashion. This is a dude wearing a practical jacket.
It's ugly. It looks like he's fucking going out to hunt ducks.
What if he is? He has a gun behind him.
It's a bad look.
I don't... Notice, by the way, that all the people saying the jacket looks nice came after the people who said the jacket looked bad, because you fucking bitch-ass pansies had to wait a little bit to check if the coast was clear before sticking up for me. Fuck you guys, pieces of shit. You don't like how the buttons look? I don't like how your fucking face looks. Loser POV. Loser POV. Alright, what are we getting at? Leftism is Narcissism, an analysis on leftism. Is this an analysis on leftism 1? Or is this a continuation of the, like, line bracket thing? I don't know. Leftist ideology is characterized by many distinct traits, one of which being narcissism. That's not grammatically correct. It would, one of which is narcissism. Being is like a participle thing. In order to defeat a toxic, continuously metastasizing ideology, we must first understand it. Are you ready to get, psychoanalyzed by this dude? Because I'm fucking ready. These comments are very boring. Wasn't paying attention to you, got upset. I'm sorry, I shall support you sooner. Thank you, Trendy Mirror. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I need people to step up sooner. Here. There we go. Nope. Guys, we have the fucking videos. Let's get started. Let's learn. We got it. Let's remind ourselves of this. We've got the heck off commie mic stand. This is before he got the cringy intro, I think. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. We have the lobster thing on his laptop. We've got Tesla, Smith & Wesson. The worst thing about censorship is then blank. Some sort of a sports thing. A tweet from Donald Trump. A commie tears mug being held up by an American soldier wearing Ray-Bans or something while explosions go off behind him, and enjoy capitalism in the Coca-Cola logo, which was probably original critical but has been adopted unironically by him. We've got a Jesus thing, we've got this fucking mug, we've got a gun mounted in the background, we've got unironic Nazi propaganda with the Bolshevik shit right here, and then he found a way to put a swastika on his back while not actually having Nazi propaganda. Let's do it.
It made me absolutely irate. I saw something on Twitter yesterday. It made me absolutely irate. If you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen what it was, but I'm so...
Oh, you shill. This guy's good at shilling, by the way. I need to learn from this guy. I guess I could learn a little bit more about capitalism, huh?
Western men have become such cowards. I've been sitting on these notes for a while, but we're actually going to get into it this time, so stay tuned.
Oh no, he has it! No!
John Doyle in Heck Off, Commie.
And as always, we freeze frame on the smile. Hold it.
I feel like John's wife right now.
Yeah.
You just push me out of the way and take.
Where's my ketchup? Oh, there it is.
The fucking food I make for you, you goddamn.
Where's my ketchup? Where's my tomato sauce?
Where's my tomatoes?
Oh, man.
You consistently use ellipses in the wrong manner, yet you judge his grammar? Go ahead and Google what an ellipses is, idiot. Take my $5, you capitalist pig.
Thanks for the $5, you fuck. I could choke you out with one anal hemorrhoid, okay? Do not even get me fucking started. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to Heck Off Commie. Make sure you have notifications turned on and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
but
shill.
I am so fed up with this crap. I mentioned this in the Women's March videos from January. I was going to make a video analyzing the cognitive dissonance of the left. But you know what? In honor of 50,000 subscribers, we're going to launch an entire video series analyzing leftism. And every video will continue to expand on the overarching theme. Because
Cool.
50,000... Man, you know, we gotta take off the gloves now, assuming that the gloves were ever on in the first place. So I'll just start with the tweet that I saw yesterday. Buddy over here, Sam McRoberts, who is a self-help author and a writer for Inc., tweeted a response to a woman that was talking about a study that she'd like to design that would try to establish predictors of satisfaction for having or not having kids. And he replied, quote, "My wife and I originally wanted 3 kids, had one, decided after a few years 1 was plenty. I love my son, I know myself well enough now. Challenges of parenting. Having a kid is probably my biggest life regret."
Yikes. Fuck, that's good. Whoa, big yikes.
Wife concurs. I'm gonna jump around, so bear with me, but like, what the hell, man? That is child abuse.
Wait. That's an even bigger yikes. Hold on. Just because them saying, whoa, 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 whoa. What? How is saying that you regret having kids child abuse? What the fuck? There are so many, like, valid interpretations of that statement. Is it because it was said publicly?
And to be clear, I'm not trying to say that this is representative of all leftists. The reaction to this tweet was almost universally negative, but...
Wait, that's still fucked up. Guys, if somebody is like, listen, having kids is a really big fucking commitment, like big time, and not everyone's like right to have kids. Sometimes the material circumstances aren't right, like you don't have the right job or schedule or whatever, and sometimes you're just not the right kind of person. That's not an insult to you. Some people just are better off without kids. To have the courage to say that publicly is, to accuse that of like being abusive, whew.
It is a symptom of the same ideology. It's a symptom...
Can you show the tweet again? Yeah. There. My wife and I originally wanted 3 kids, had one, decide after a few years that 1 was plenty. Though I love my son, I now know myself well enough, and B, know the challenges of parenting well enough to say having a kid is probably my biggest life regret. Yikesy, yeah, but not child abuse.
This tweet was almost universally negative, but... It is a symptom of the same ideology. It's a symptom of the same narcissistic, self-centered ideology. One of my more controversial opinions that both liberals and conservatives get at me for is I think it's selfish to not have kids. I think that if you are able to raise a child, you should, out of obligation to the species, your bloodline, and to the society.
To your bloodline. Whew! Mask fucking off. I guarantee you that he's speaking exclusively of white people, by the way. 100% bloodline. Jesus Christ. Is this 40K or some shit? Is this like a fucking Lord of the Rings? Oh, man. The idea that you should have a moral obligation to propagate this is fucking ridiculous. For one, there are plenty of kids out there. We're doing fine, population-wise. We're doing okay. As a society, we're doing fine. And for 2, the idea that you should have any obligation to prop up your fucking bloodline is ludicrous. Exclusively a Nazi argument. And this guy, by the way, is a Nazi. We've done videos on him before. He is a white nationalist.
Assuming that you're competent enough to raise an independent, functioning member of society, which unfortunately isn't as common as we'd like.
Wait. You should only have to do it if you're capable of raising a kid? Like if you're if you have the faculties to do so? What if the fucking guy in the tweet didn't have the faculties to do so? What if he and his wife suffer from mental illness and can't really be there for their kid as much as they would like to? What if they aren't in a financial position to be able to afford all the services their kid needs? What if their kid has like crazy fucking hyperautism and requires more than they expected they would be able to provide for a child? He just contradicted the own fucking opening to his statement really quickly. This has like 30,000 views or something. I don't fucking know.
Leftism kills babies under the euphemism of, it's the mother's choice, it's her life, her. Never, not one time.
Oh, Christ. I'm not going to get a chance to eat this fucking sandwich, am I?
Eat it.
Oh, I'm trying, but he's making shit takes every second.
It's a food stream now.
Oh, that's so good. Listen, guys. If you want good commentary, you need a well-fed Vosh, okay? So, framing abortions as fundamentally selfish. No. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Human beings have been getting abortions since the beginning of time. Also, fetuses aren't people. My dude Areno. That's some Supreme Court shit right there. Like in reality though, like this argument is very simple. If you're him, then you believe fucking fetuses are people and that killing them is murder and that doing so is selfish because killing someone is not valid just because you are inconvenienced by their birth. And if you agree with the rest of society, you can state rather confidently that fetuses are not people and that they are just parasites in the human body that are endowed with the rights of a human at the point of birth. And therefore, an abortion is not fundamentally selfish because no extravagant harm is being done to ensure the well-being of the mother. Again, I'm not interested in the abortion argument. This is some boring ass shit. Let's move past this.
About the baby. They're far less likely to have children than conservatives are, and you'd think that that would weed them out of the population over time, but not so much when you've got the 60...
A, because political beliefs aren't hereditary, and B, because typically speaking, more educated people have less children. Just food for thought there.
65 Open Borders Act, and then also total control of the media. John, much when you've got the 65 Open Borders Act.
Mentioning the 65 Open Borders Act, you know who really likes that one? Nicholas J. Fuentes, aka the white nationalist extraordinaire, aka soul math means that I'm only fucking 9% Spanish instead of 25% Spanish, you fucking ignorant American. Oh, man.
And then also total control of the media. John's calling for eugenics. Like, yes, but playfully. It's a joke. Calm down. But does that really shock you? Does it really shock you that the people that advocate for criminals to be allowed into the country, that advocate for mothers to be able to kill their child up to and now even during or after birth, are you...
No one advocates for criminals to be allowed into the country. We advocate for them not to be criminals because they're entering the country. You see, if they're allowed to immigrate legally, they aren't criminals when they come in. And this abortion argument was settled like literally fucking 1,000 years ago. This is so boring. I can't listen to fucking boomer wannabe conservatives ramble about abortion for any longer. I can't fucking do it. It's the same goddamn argument. Life begins at conception. Life begins at birth. Da-da-da-da-da. Stupid.
Really surprised that they might not have a huge value for human life, that they might not really care about the little guy? It's because they don't. And here's the important thing.
Unironically arguing that leftists don't care about the little guy. Unironically arguing that leftists don't care about the little guy. That's what I'm saying.
That you need to distinguish. They don't care about helping other people. They care about having the appearance of helping other people. Meanwhile,
we have like fucking liberal Democrats and Republicans alike in Congress who are constantly espousing rhetoric which claims to be to the aid of the common working man in America, but both of them fundamentally just exist to prop up businesses. They act in the service of lobbyists. We have corporations that are constantly running ad campaigns that make it look as though they care about, say, green energy. They care about the rising tide of social inequality and social tension. And meanwhile, they continue to do the exact same thing. The only people out there who genuinely, unironically care about the little people are people who value egalitarianism over hierarchy. That's the contrast there. Because that's the real contrast in society. Hierarchy versus egalitarianism. If you believe in capitalism, capitalism enforces a hierarchy. If you believe in monarchy for some god-awful reason, hierarchy. Whereas leftism, you know, comparatively equal distribution of wealth, that's an argument in favor of egalitarianism. And hierarchy will always do more to hurt the common folk, the little guy, than egalitarianism ever will. So every time he makes this argument that leftists don't care about the little guy, just remember who's in favor of hierarchy and who isn't.
Virtue signaling, for example. There was a study published in the American Journal of Political Science that found that liberals and conservatives actually display similar levels of narcissism. However, the liberals were described as displaying exhibitionism, and the conservatives were described as displaying entitlement. How splendid that we can now find out together here tonight that the party fighting for free college, free healthcare, free tampons even, it turns out they're not the entitled party. My mistake.
Wait, what? I thought he cited that source to agree with him, but then he complained about it? Oh, I'm sorry if you disagree with the source you just cited. If you want to not look like a fucking idiot, maybe don't bring up sources that disagree with your rhetoric. Kind of a weird look right there. According to this study, conservatives are actually the entitled ones. Well, imagine that, huh? That's dumb. Quickly sets away study. What the fuck are you talking about?
But the way that they were attributing entitlement to conservatives is just something I disagree with fundamentally. They asked them to respond to statements like, I demand to be treated with respect. And conservatives, I guess, were more likely not to let people walk over them, so therefore they're more entitled.
I haven't seen the methodology for this study, but I guarantee you that the study's metric for determining entitlement was not whether or not you let people walk all over you. In fact, wait, I want to read the study.
My mistake. But you're free that we can now find out together because we're just narcissism. However, the liberals that found that
There we go. Hold on. I'm almost done with this fucking slice. Wait, what chud wants to argue? Baby, that was delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, okay, but who's the chud? So I can shame them publicly. Imagine having the audacity of being a conservative in my channel and not wanting to argue with me over it. Oh, D. Foster? Yeah. They've already bitched out. God damn, that was a good-ass sandwich, guys. Holy shit. Just the right amount of pepper. That's some good-ass shit. If you think that was some good-ass shit, if you wish that you had a tuna sandwich right now, why not fucking sub to me? Why not give me some goddamn money, you know? Pay my fucking rent. Hi, I'm new. Hello there, Berg93. Okay. AJPS Narcissism Political... AJPS Narcissism... Vintual! Thank you so fucking much for your subscription, my friend. I cannot even begin to tell you how much I appreciate your Show of support. Thank you. Welcome to the community. Enjoy the emotes and such. Okay. Now, in all likelihood, we're not going to be able to see the methodology here. Entitlement facet of narcissism is uniformly related to more conservative positions. Exhibitionism related to more liberal values, including party political identification. Okay, can we get the full text? Jesus fucking Christ, I hate American academia. $7 for 48-hour access and $42 for the full text and PDF download. I'm graduated. I don't have access to these files anymore. Do you think the U.S. should have dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? From the information I have been provided, yes, it seemed like the best way to save human life. Okay, this is the article that he linked. This is not the full text. Hello. Oh, wait, is this just the first page? Oh, don't get my hopes up. God damn it. Yo, do you work out? Do I look like I work out? God damn it. Okay, listen. I really do not feel like engaging in the investigative journalism that would allow me to see the full text of the article, but let's lay this one out real easy like, okay? I'm going to say this unilaterally as a fact. John Doyle did not read the full text of the article. Have we ever seen a fucking reactionary YouTuber read the entirety of the academic article that they cite as a source? It has never happened once. Their eyes melt. They caustically bubble when looking at academic sources. So, absolutely not. And for two, there is no chance in hell that the American Journal of Political Science would host an article that would define narcissistic entitlement as not wanting to get trampled on. Let's move on from here. Nice accusations. I can make worse accusations about John Doyle. I mean, he's a Nazi. Like, it's...
How splendid that we can now find out together. Turns out they're not the entitled party. My mistake. But the way that they were attributing entitlement to conservatives is just something I disagree with fundamentally. They asked them to respond to statements like, I demand to be treated with respect. And conservatives, I guess, were more likely not to let people walk over them, therefore they're more entitled.
Again, this is about narcissistic entitlement. I mean, I could do the same thing like, oh, they say liberals have more of a narcissistic exhibitionism trait. Like, liberals will go out there and they'll say, hey, stop discriminating against brown people really loudly. Huh, I guess that liberals just like demonstrating their value. Like you could just, if you want to frame it super dishonestly, you can make it sound like fucking anything.
And here's the one, this really got me. They connected the fact that conservatives want lower taxes and less gun restriction to their entitlement, because I guess conservatives feel entitled to their money and their right to bear arms. Imagine that. Explain that to me. Explain to me how it's entitled to want to keep more of what I've earned and to want to defend myself and my family. I mean, I guess
Again, you could do this again with the reciprocal. There's literally nothing in the article. Like, if I guarantee you, if he had passages from that study that backed up what he was saying, like, oh, in the methodology, one of the questions was, do you believe you should be able to defend yourself with a firearm? And a conservative said, yeah. I guarantee you, if those things existed in the study, those would be screenshotted and those would be here. You can do that, by the way. You can screenshot segments of the article to use in your video. Why would he not do that if those arguments existed? He's literally just making shit up, and he's angry as fuck about it.
I am entitled to that, like, by definition, because I am entitled to do both of those things as I see fit.
He's demonstrating pretty hard entitlement now because he's essentially saying that he's entitled to the Second Amendment and to not have to pay taxes. Like, I would say that feeling as though you shouldn't have to pay taxes, but you should be able to benefit from all the services the government provides you is a pretty excellent example of conservative entitlement. But what's your opinion on New Zealand banning assault rifles even though the Christchurch shooter was from another country? The fact that the Christchurch shooter was from another country had nothing to do with it. The fact of the matter here is that the ban is stupid. Assault rifle bans don't really solve anything.
I mean, the liberals, they're more likely to display exhibitionist narcissism. They related more to statements such as, I get upset if people don't notice how I look in public, and I will show off if I get the chance.
Wait, what? Okay. Okay, never mind. We need a full text of this. If somebody can get me the full text for the article that I just, tried and failed to find, I need the full text for this. Can somebody get it to me quickly? Is that possible? Like, does somebody who has academic access, can you download the PDF and send it to me over Discord? Because how long are you going to be streaming? Probably till like 9, maybe a bit past. It's called Narcissism and Political Orientation, and it's from the American Journal of Political Science. The idea... Already sent it to me? Hold on. Well, look-y there. Well, look-y there. Never mind. Call off the dogs, my friends. Nothing to worry about. I've got comrades on the case. We are going to look through this fucking article, and we are going to see if there is literally any substantiality to the claims that John Doyle is making here. Though I guarantee you there is not, because if there was, he would have screen capped those segments and put them in the video as evidence. He's usually pretty diligent about doing that. The fact that he didn't means that there is nothing here that supports his arguments. But hey, I could be wrong. This could be a stupid fucking article. All right, we have to get to the methodology. Oh god, it's been like a year since I've read an academic article. Okay, we can skip the intro. Defining narcissism. Narcissism and ideology. Narcissism and the respective ideologies. Hypothesis. The extant literature suggests that both liberalism and conservatism should be related to narcissism, but for different reasons. That is, those in the left and right should not meaningfully differ in overall narcissism. However, the facets driving the public's response to narcissism should differ systemically by ideology. More specifically, the literature reviewed a credible case that refutes social narcissism differentiated guide left-right orientation summarized in Table 1. Okay. Exhibitionism's relationship with labeling, identity politics, individualism, desire to control the issue space, and sexual liberalism makes it appear a likely candidate to be uniquely related to more liberal social attitudes and more liberal orientations generally. Equally important... Oh my god!
I know I already made you a sandwich, but I got paid and I love you a lot, so here's some money for your new setup, buddy. I love you.
Thank you very much, my love. Thank you for the $10. I love you. Seriously, that's really generous of you, even though you're fucking 10 feet behind me and you just made a sandwich. Thank you. I love you. Alright. Second, the self-sufficiency facet reflects a core tenet of conservatism and thus should be associated with more conservatism orientations. An entitlement facet, appearing to have limited potential to reflect liberalism through identity politics, must theoretical strong negative liberalism. Okay. Here, Table 1. Hypothesized relationship between political orientation and narcissism. So, authority seeking, that would be none for any of them. Self-sufficiency, that'd be conservative. So, okay. So, let's look at this methodology, okay? There's nothing wrong with engaging our brains, stimulating them a little bit with some academic reading. Now, There seem to be 5 facets of narcissism, and these facets of narcissism have been tied to issues that are related to the political spectrum. So, out-group. So, narcissism as it relates to the out-group. That seems like it would relate to immigration and refugees, at least in this methodology. Economic narcissism relates to public spending. Social to guns and policing. That seems like a little bit of a tenuous relationship. Social is pretty broad, but okay. Self-reported, so ideology, and party identification. So self-sufficiency looks like it'd be conservative across the board. Entitlement looks like it'd be conservative across the board. Exhibitionism looks like it would be democratic across the board. Yeah, I know this. Yes, this is hypothesized. So this is what they're stating beforehand. So, method participants. Now, I want to see whether or not John Doyle's claim that that conservative entitlement has anything to do with just like standing up for yourself. So let's see. Measures and procedure. We've got narcissism, ideology, party identification, religiosity, demographics. Okay, so let's see. Sample, answer, optics, and descriptive. Here, let's get my glasses clean. Okay. Okay. Self-reported ideology. Raise taxes, cut spending, both cut spending and raise taxes. The majority of people said cut spending. Okay. Immigrants. This isn't the data we need. Is there another table? Yes, here we go. Entitlement, exhibitionism. Okay. Wait, which one is Democrat and which one is Republican? I can guess. Okay. We have immigrants so far to the right, so this suggests to me that this one would be Republican. Conclusion. Okay, so what I want to see then, that affirms what I thought it would affirm. So what I want to see then, no, not hypothesis, method. I want to see how they, what they use to determine entitlement. Calculate the 7 facets of APIs. And the entitlement was related to... Right. Demographics. Analyses. Okay. 7 category party ID for self-report ideology. Okay. Confirming the expectations set forth in the literature once we examine whether specific has unique to robust finding emerge. Entitlement is positively associated with all ideological measures, more conservative. Exhibitionism negatively associated with all outcomes, more liberal. Okay. More positively and more negatively. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've had to read any fucking academic literature. My brain's a little bit dusty. But it says pretty unilaterally. Okay. Okay. So, positive association with the ideological measures means a more conservative slant, and negative association means a more liberal slant. Then we have entitlement and exhibitionism up here. Entitlement is demonstrated heavily in concern to immigrants. Left-leaning in regards to party ID. Okay, okay. Okay. Entitlement captures the belief that one is inherently deserving of benefits and special treatment, including compliance with one's wishes. Okay, that's not quite how John Doyle framed it, huh? Let's go back to where we were. Here. Exhibition entitlement. We find a significant positive average for entitlement, significant negative average for exhibitionism. The second step in our analyses reinforces our competence in the regression analyses, one potential exception. Specific exhibitionism refuges. We assess how narcissism performs by seeks to prevent variance possible. Regarding entitlement, overall positive effect, which relates to conservative values and independent relationship with party ID and ideological values, even when they're included in the same model. Entitlement, positive outcome, and identity. And this is the same data with all controls put into place. Immigration attitudes. Immigrants to leave the country, also less likely to prefer policies that allow immigrants to stay and apply for citizenship with no effective monetary opinions. So, those scoring higher in entitlement are much less likely to self-identify as Democrat and much more likely to be independent. Interesting. Independent. Entitlement, political attitudes. Jeez, neither. Great deal. Okay. Guys, I think I've done it. I think I've analyzed this data. Are we ready for the conclusion? The conclusion is that John Doyle is completely full of shit, and that his assertions are not backed up by the literature. Who would have thought that a white nationalist would lie about a political science study? Amazing. Incredible. I can't believe I wasted 20 minutes of my life. I don't know how long that was. It was probably like 5 minutes. I can't believe I wasted a portion of my life testing the hypothesis that white nationalists lie about data. Can we... Oh, do you guys want to read the conclusion? Yeah, sure, we can. Hold on. I just click buttons randomly. Yeah, let's read the conclusion together, okay? We can... I skimmed it because I wasn't really looking for the conclusion. I was looking for the methodology behind what they determined to be entitlement. But let's see. We find that the same fundamental psychological mechanism can, through the combination of dispositional influences and different social experiences, produce both similar and politically opposing outcomes in ideology and affiliation. Why should the ontology of narcissism matter if overall levels remain identical across political orientations? At first glance, the outcome measures may appear similar, but this high-level view masks important features regarding not only its divergent manifestation, but also the function that narcissism serves for different ideologies. The findings provide evidence that two facets of narcissism, exhibitionism and entitlement, may constitute part of a specialized functional psychology that facilitates status maintenance, instrumental needs, self-esteem regulation, and identity formation through, or as of a result of, different ideological orientations. The reason this may matter in wider political discourse is because it offers alternative models for successive intervention and policy compromise. Different ideological values appear to require both similar and divergent psychological needs to be met in order to find a common ground for policy changes. Understand the source and function of those needs brings us one closer step towards being able to bridge the gap between those who may share more goals than they realize but differ in how they psychologically get there. None of this study, none of the conclusion, none of the methodology, none of it has anything to do with what John Doyle said. John Doyle's assertion that conservatives ranked higher on entitlement because they, want to keep the money that's theirs and think they should be able to defend themselves with guns, and his assertion that liberals are engaged in the exhibitionist characteristics of narcissism because they just want to go out there and be heard, and they're just upset if people don't compliment their outfit. This is a massive mischaracterization of the study, an obvious one. This is not a misreading of the study. This is not something that an honest person could derive from having read the study. This is something that a liar would say after having skimmed the abstract.
And they also feel the need to display their opinions to everybody. Everyone needs to know that I am a liberal. I care about the poor. I am noble. I am virtuous.
None of this is demonstrated whatsoever by the literature, by the way. He's just talking about his feelings. He just has really strong feelings on this matter, you know? Look at his big, soft bitch boy lips fucking puckering and flapping as he speaks. Look at the enthusiasm. Look at how fucking triggered he is. He's mad as fuck. His feels are all over the goddamn place.
Crave attention for these. They want everyone to know, and they want to have this perception of I care about the downtrodden, but they don't. That's why it isn't help the poor. It's income inequality. They couldn't care less about the poor.
Income inequality is why poor people are poor. Is that a meme? Have I been memed on? And again, literally nothing he's saying is corroborated by the study. He's just talking. These are just words.
But someone has more than they do, that's not going to sit well. That's why every time there's a crisis, profile pictures changed, status up.
Wait, what did he just say? When someone has more than they do?
Help the poor. It's income inequality. They couldn't care less about the poor. But someone has more than they do, that's not going to sit well.
What? You're just gonna throw that statement out that leftists get mad when other people have more than them? You're not gonna back it up? You immediately jump to like changing your profile picture after what? He's just rambling. In the context of the study, exhibitionism has to do with making yourself the center of attention, related to narcissism.
That's why every time there's a crisis, profile pictures changed, status updated.
Yeah, and okay, conservatives say fucking thoughts and prayers even though it doesn't mean anything. Again, and I have to keep saying this, none of this has anything to do with the study. He's just talking about his feelings right now. But even his feelings are stupid. Please, just because they're feelings doesn't mean I can't critique them.
They sit back and they just bathe in this dopamine of watching the likes and comments of, oh, Amy, you're so right. This is sad. Let's both be right and sad together. And that's it. Done. I have done my part.
Is this something leftists do? Is this a leftist thing? I didn't realize that. I thought this was something just that people did online when they don't have the ability to change anything. Group sympathy and group sadness are like legitimate psychological phenomena. I don't think those are politically oriented.
Anytime anyone tweets anything that isn't about the water in Flint, people will reply, Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water.
Hey, that comment that you just linked right there it's not a reply. It's just a post, and it has 3 likes and 3 retweets. Is that what you've got? Hey guys, leftists are narcissists. Here, I pulled this off Twitter. This is some weak shit. Jesus Christ.
So that everyone can go, yeah, Haley, everyone else is focused on what Pete Davidson did at a sporting event, but you care about the real issues. You are the noble one.
And you and the 3 people who liked that tweet, yeah. He got him. He got him. We've been got, my friends. He found the tweet. I was hoping John Doyle wouldn't find it. I was hoping his research team would overlook it. That tweet. That goddamn tweet. Nothing more concretely and holistically belies the fundamentally narcissistic nature of leftist behavior. That single tweet with its 3 likes and 3 retweets, but he found it. John Doyle.
Haha, Trump supporters started a GoFundMe.
Also, I like the implication that never talking about the crisis in Flint, Michigan is somehow a preferable and more humanitarian and less narcissistic way of dealing with the situation than, like, talking about it when other things happen.
Me for the wall, so pathetic. I mean, sure, maybe it would have been better to just change our profile pictures and post on social media to remind our friends that we are, in fact, better than they are because we are virtuous. Why else would they want what's effectively open borders? They have no...
He's really going off on this one. He found this one study and then he lied about it, and now he's just... I thought this was supposed to be an analysis on leftism. This sounds like he's just reading it off. Or not even like reading, like this is just ad-lib. He's just like upset. And if leftists are so great, why do they change their profile pictures after a tragedy? Because they're not, because they get sad together because they're narcissists. And then here's a tweet. This tweet, somebody, there's 3 likes, and somebody mentioned the Flint, Michigan crisis, and leftists, and leftists, they never respond to a crisis in the way I like. Like I don't know. He's just rambling, but okay, we'll ride it on through.
Obligation to care about people in other countries, especially...
Well, hold on. Now he's talking about open borders.
Remind our friends that we are, in fact, better than they are because we are virtuous. Why else would they want what's effectively open borders? They have no obligation to care about people in other countries.
Wait, what?
Especially if many of them are criminals. But wait, it's trendy to look humanitarian on Facebook. Never mind.
Wait, what? Wait, what is the jump that he just made there? Wait, leftists pretend to care about people but don't. That's why they like open borders. Even though there are criminals in other country. Now, wait, hold on.
They want what's effectively open borders.
Please, okay, I got it. I need to follow this train of logic.
They have no obligation to care about people in other countries.
Okay, wait, what do you mean? Obligation makes... I mean... We don't have an obligation. None of us have an obligation to care about anyone. It's just nice if we do. It makes the world a better place. Okay. I don't know where this is coming from. Is this like projecting? Is him saying this like you have no obligation to care about people in other countries? Is he saying like, is he like confused why you would care about people who live in a different country than you? I feel like he's actually confused. That would be really good like projection right there. If he was like, that's why they like open borders. As we all know, you can't care about people in other countries, so they want them to come here so they can care about them. Leftists. That'd be some really cute projection there, wouldn't it? But okay, let's follow this.
Especially if many of them are criminals. But wait.
Does he think many Mexicans are criminals? He just said people in other countries. He didn't just say, like, refugees or anything. Does he think that, like, the majority of Mexican people are criminals? Okay.
It's trendy to look humanitarian on Facebook. Never mind. Let's pour money into entitlements so that illegal aliens can subsist off government benefits and send their kids to American colleges.
What? Are leftists the ones who are... Wait, he was talking about being trendy on Facebook, and now he's talking about policies that are passed by our elected representatives. I thought he was talking about leftists here being like useless and ineffectual and virtue signaling, but now he's talking about entitlement programs? These things have nothing to do with one another.
Do they care about the long-term results of this? No, not at all. The left is literally sacrificing.
Wait, does he have a way to support this? Wait, okay, let's follow this insane train of logic. So, leftists pretend to care about people but don't. So we want open borders because we're not obligated to care about people in other countries, even though they're criminals. So if they come here, we can have them be here so we can fund entitlement programs so they can send their kids to rich schools. And then what was that at the end?
Do they care about the long-term results of this?
And then we don't care about... So we... Is this what 4D chess feels like? Am I being outplayed, or is this unbelievably stupid? I'm not... Like, this actually feels like an ad-libs argument. Like somebody filled in random nouns and adjectives to make the argument. Leftists want open borders because we're not entitled to care about other countries, even though most of them are criminals. I don't. Yeah, am I getting outplayed right now, or is this the monkey, a million monkeys typing at a keyboard equivalent of conservative rhetoric? Yeah, I guess this logic is just too much for me. Fuck, I think I've been outsmarted by John Doyle.
No, not at all. The left is...
Okay, so we don't care about the long-term consequences of legal immigrants, because this is open borders now, of legal immigrants sending their children to schools, to American schools. And we don't care, and now that's where we are. Okay. We're feeling like the short-term gratification. This is wonderful conservative projection because they literally can't fathom that we care about other human beings. Like John Doyle is a monster. Even though he looks like a little baby brat, he's representative of like the most horrible fucking impulses and thought patterns in all of us. He literally... Oh, god damn it. Are we really effed again? Guys, we're fine.
We're fresh.
Jesus Christ. John Doyle is representative of like the worst parts of a human being. He literally cannot understand why left-leaning people would care about minorities or about people who would come in under open borders, except to just like feel good for a little bit on Facebook. He can't understand it. This is a mental illness John Doyle has. This is a form of politicized sociopathy. The idea to me that somebody can lack the ability to care. This is what he meant when he said, because we have no obligation to care about other people in other countries. He can't fathom it. To him, caring about human beings is just a product of national or familial or racial defense. It's tribalism. It's about protecting what you have and the lines you've set up around it. The idea of caring about humans because they're human beings and because they're deserving of rights is so alien to this person that he literally can't comprehend it. He can't ascribe that behavior to us. When he sees leftists being like, hey, we should get open borders, he has to funnel this into some 18D chess plan about how we're doing it for Facebook likes, rather than because we care about people. Also, every existing study shows that immigration is generally good for an economy, and we need to bring in immigrants to deal with America's like native lower birth rate, or lacking replacement rate. So, not only is his logic flawed, but his conclusion is too. It wouldn't destroy the country to let more people in.
Have you ever been to one of their little protests? You get the people there.
One of the little protests? And to switch right back to ad homs, why does he sound like such a fucking child? He reads these scripts, right? Like, and when you go to one of their little protests, like, he sounds like a whiny child. Is that like, I mean, maybe that's just his fucking modus operandi, you know?
And they're representing 50 different causes. I'm not making this up. You can watch the videos that I've done at these different protests. And the reason is because it's all under the same umbrella of the leftist narrative of victimization.
So he's gone to protests and they're all there for 50 different causes. That's a problem, John Doyle, because I've watched those videos and they don't all have 50 different causes. They have different things they believe in. The protests are usually for a single cause. If you go up to a group of, say, anti-Trump protesters, and ask them about stuff like abortion, women's rights, immigration, gun rights, you're probably going to get like a sort of collective disagreement on these issues. That doesn't mean they're all just there protesting 50 different things. That just means they're a group of people who disagree with you. And it has nothing to do with the leftist vision of entitlement. Again, this seems like projection. Conservatives are the most habitually fucking whiny, self-victimizing people I've ever seen. The fact that conservatives like there's an actual reactionary party in this country that unironically believes that like the Jews are hoisting black and brown people to come in here and fuck white women so they'll make the brown babies so they'll displace the whites. And this is white genocide even though no one is being killed and no shots are being fired over it and the government is white and the government is supporting policies that benefit America by and large, which is mostly constituent of white people. They still manage to find a way to make themselves the victim of genocide. The war on Christmas shit, the fact that white people fucking constantly bitching about reverse racism and how straight white men are the last demographic you can make fun of in society. Conservatives are the whiniest, most easily triggered, thin-skinned motherfucking snowflakes in existence. The idea that leftists are unified by a narrative of victimization is laughable. Leftists are unified by a narrative of perseverance. Of all these fucking instances of social inequality that we stand up to collectively and deal with, in spite of well over a century of anti-left-leaning, anti-leftist, anti-socialist, anti-commie, anti-union, anti-woman, anti-black, anti-brown, anti-immigrant, anti-refugee, anti-immigration propaganda that we have been contending with, we still exist. We still survive. That's not self-victimization. That's a recognition of a war.
And, oh, the signs, they're so clever. They have to be. Because the purpose of the signs isn't to send a message.
And again, he's projecting really hard here. Again, all of this video boils down to John Doyle not understanding that you can care about human beings. So he'll assume that when leftists act as though they care about human beings, it's because they're trying to benefit from it socially rather than because they sincerely believe those things. Also, these signs aren't even that clever. Is this what you consider a clever... I mean, I guess next to like room temperature IQ John Doyle over here, Muslims are our friends and choosing inclusion over Trump are probably... That's like the cleverest shit. He saw those signs and he fucking... he balled his fist, his knuckles went like... Ugh! They got us with those ones. Those are really smart signs.
It's to be clever. It's to be artistic. When they make those signs, they aren't fighting against the Trump administration.
Again, his best example of a clever artistic sign was those? Okay, man. Small brain.
They're fighting the other protesters for the best sign slot. I mean...
I would love to see him have, like, literally any fucking example of this. All these leftists, when they go to these protests, they don't care about the issues. They don't care about each other. All they care about, they go with their signs, they spent weeks preparing them, and then they go there and they all hold them up, and they're always looking around. What are they looking at? They're not looking for the patriarchy. Oh no, they're looking to see who has the best sign, and that's the person who wins. That's what leftist rallies are. Okay. All right, dude. This is what the world looks like. This is what the world looks like. If you aren't capable of caring about human beings and don't understand why others would.
That's why they're always so well documented. They have to post that they were at the Women's March so that everyone knows that they are drowning in their own political efficacy, that
The Women's March wasn't well documented because left-leaning people are entitled. The Women's March was well documented because it was like the largest march in the history of the planet. It was like the largest march that ever happened by humans. I assume you're talking about the Women's March, right? The one with millions of people. That's why it was well documented, because it was an unbelievably huge event.
they're indeed more socially aware than you are. That's why if you go to these things and you listen to the speakers, everyone there is recording it with their phones so that they can show everyone that they were there protesting and listening to the speaker.
And just the same way, have you ever seen those leftists at concerts always holding up their phones, recording the bands as they play? Those fucking leftists. Ah! And you know what really gets me? When you go to the movie theaters and you see those leftists with their phone out because they're watching Captain Marvel and they're taking a picture of themselves watching Captain Marvel so all the other triggered lefties know that they're better than them. And I hate leftists when you go out to the pier by the ocean and you see some of them taking videos of the dolphins that crest above the water, and you just know they're doing it to post pictures on their Facebook feed so everyone else can know they care more about the environment. And leftists when they go to museums and open art exhibitions, when they're taking the photos of the cool fucking polished metal sculptures, you know they're doing it so they can post it on their Instagram profile pages to show the other leftists that they're more cultured. My God. This is a mental illness. This way of thinking, this John Doylean way of thinking, is a mental illness. Like, to be this disconnected with reality, to be incapable of acknowledging the fact that it's possible to care about other human beings without personally benefiting from it is I don't know. It's a kind of sickness. And in a way, I feel bad for John Doyle, because this kind of attitude is going to fuck with you in basically every aspect of your life. You think you're ever really going to be able to experience love? Pardon me for getting all armchair psychology on you, but if you're so broken in your head that you can't understand why you would do something for someone else unless you benefit from it, how can a person like this ever have a healthy relationship? How can a person like this ever have raise a child in a healthy manner? I genuinely don't think that it's possible. To them, life is about exploitation and being exploited. It's about taking as much as you can from others and giving out as little in return as possible. That's life.
Instead of actually listening to the speaker. They don't care about anything that doesn't supplement their own self-image.
You know, it's possible to record the speaker because you're like moved to be there at a political event, and it's just cool, like a good memory. I went to a Bernie rally back in like 2016, late 2015 in Los Angeles, and I took some videos there, and I never posted them anywhere, because I didn't care what people thought about me or whether or not people knew I had gone to the rally. I kept them on my phone, and I still have them on my phone, because it was the first time I had ever gone to a political rally, and it was just really cool being surrounded by people, and all listening to one fucking old fucking socialist dinosaur ramble. That was pretty cool.
During the Me Too movement, these women came out and they talk about how they exchanged sex for roles in movies, and now they're fighting back.
What? Was that the Me Too movement? Women said they fucked their producers for roles and now they're fighting back? I don't think that's what the Me Too movement was about, John Doyle.
Time's up. Are you kidding me? You were fine with prostituting yourself when it helped your career.
By the way, you know, just so you guys know, the Me Too movement's actually about like sexual assault and harassment that gets covered up. I think it's really cool, personally, that John Doyle believes that getting sexually assaulted or getting pressured or coerced into having sex by your superior who controls your life and writes your paychecks is the same as these women prostituting themselves. That's pretty cool.
But now that it's time to look virtuous in the public eye, you're like, wait a second, I'll go jump on this now.
That's what they did. All these women stood up to look virtuous? Does he know what that means? None of the women came across looking virtuous. You don't look virtuous by saying, I was sexually assaulted and this dude's a fucking dick. That doesn't make you look virtuous. That makes you look like you were sexually assaulted and the guy is a dick. No one would do... Like, wait. John Doyle, you want to be a virtuous man, don't you? Are you saying that if you came out and you were like, I got raped, would you consider that to be a ticket towards virtue for yourself? Or no, because you realize you're just slandering victims of sexual assault and harassment? Yeah, literally, they were okay with it, but now they're mad because it benefits them socially. A ton of the women who have come out in the Me Too movement have been fucking blacklisted from their industries because none of the studios or none of the fucking businesses want to take in a woman who has a history of revealing shitty behavior on the part of her superiors. So it didn't really benefit them.
And that's how Hollywood works. It is the most corrupt, perverted industry in the country.
That's how Hollywood works, ignoring the fact that Hollywood was not, in fact, the only institution that was affected by the Me Too movement, and also implying that Hollywood is the most corrupt fucking industry in existence. When you have, say, like oil companies, and you have, say, weapons manufacturing companies that literally take like direct government subsidies, and they have no bid contracts that go through Congress that are being pushed by people who either used to work or currently sit as one of the chairmen of those corporations. Like, that's political corruption at a level that goes way the fuck beyond anything Hollywood has ever been capable of. But yeah, sure. Like, don't get me wrong, Hollywood does suck. I'm not saying that it doesn't. But when he says Hollywood sucks, he's not doing it for the same reasons I would. He's doing it because fucking liberals and Jews or whatever.
And people that come out and speak about it without the support of the leftist media are blacklisted. This is anecdotal. I know someone...
Yeah, the fact that people who speak up about how Hollywood sucks
about it without the support of the leftist media are blacklisted. This is anecdotal.
Yeah, generally if you go out and you speak about how shitty an industry is, you get blacklisted from that industry. That's not exclusive to Hollywood.
I know a girl that was raped by someone in her family, and during the height of the Me Too movement, everyone in her family was talking about how great it was, how survivors have to be believed. And guess what? When she came out and she told her family what had happened to her, the only people that believed her were the people that voted for Trump. Everyone...
I'm gonna need a source on that one, my dude. You literally just said that the victims of the Me Too movement, like, fucked their way to power and then decided to turn around and benefit from... from calling out the people they'd had sex with. Something tells me you and the people you're fucking extolling here are not exactly huge fans of women and not exactly huge supporters of women who have been sexually maligned. I'm gonna need a source on that one, my friend. But here's something that I can't give you guys a source for. So, this was a little while ago, back in the 1960s. I had all these friends, you know, and they were all like, yeah, gun, the Second Amendment's really important. Gun control, yeah. And then the Black Panther Party started legally standing outside of courthouses with their rifles. And then Ronald Reagan introduced a bill to the state Senate to get gun control legislation passed for the first time in decades from Ronald Reagan of all people, because of the black people were scary, and the only people who said that was fucked up were Democrats. I'm just kidding. That actually happened. For more examples of Republicans betraying the values they purport to stand for, just learn anything about politics. Okay.
Else said she was lying and trying to divide the family, and she told me this because she said that it made her
she told me this because she looked in my eyes and she said, and then she said this, and I don't have a source for this, but then she said, you know, I used to be a liberal and a Hillary supporter, and I loved Obama. And then I look at you and I thought I can trust you with my rape story because you support God Emperor President Trump, and I've come around on that, and I've realized that Trump supporters are the ones who care about... Please.
Think her opinion on Trump supporters, because she's pretty liberal, and she used to think that all...
Ooh. Ooh. Man, I love it. 200 IQ read.
Trump supporters are inherently evil, but the only people that came to her defense were Trump supporters, and that's the thing. Conservatives give more to charity. We actually care about American people.
Whoa, all the fuck on.
Supporters, and that's the thing. Conservatives give more to charity.
Yeah, so it seems like it's a nonlinear relationship in which Republican counties tend to have higher charitable donations, but ultimately levels of redistribution are higher in Democratic-leaning counties, which makes sense to me because charities don't fix shit and are just a band-aid on systemic issues, whereas left-leaning people are far more likely to support policies like higher taxation or increased heritability tax or what have you, or estate tax, to ensure that systemic change can be made, which reduces the need for charities in the first place. This fits pretty well, because charities are the capitalist dream, right? You can have income inequality, but don't worry, the generous rich people will just give their money freely of their own violation, so the poor slummers can live. Of course, that's a fantasy, which is why left-leaning people are more likely to engage in actual levels of redistribution. This also completely ignores donation to international organizations. Does it say that only domestic? It doesn't say in the abstract whether or not this refers only to domestic or international things, but there's also, as someone pointed out earlier, the fact that churches would count if you donate to a church. Dan made the argument he helped soup kitchens and helped build a hospital, which is why he shouldn't be expected to pay for healthcare. Oh yeah, I mean, Dan is an idiot, so that makes sense to me. Dan's entire moral and ethical philosophy stems from his belief that he shouldn't have to pay taxes, and then everything that like builds out from that. He's a great cartoon character. Sent me the full article. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a full look over for this one, because even the abstract supports the things that I believe to be true. Which is not exactly great research on my part, but I'm doing a fucking stream. Okay, we're just going to look at the conclusion. Volition, not violation? Yeah, volition, sorry. This dude's awesome. Love this stream. Well, I love you too, user 11011. Alright. Oh my... Whoa! Okay. This is a long fucking study. Jesus Christ. I feel like this study wouldn't be that difficult to do. It's measuring an empirical... Okay. Discussion. Where's conclusion? Effects of political competition. Nonlinear effects of political ideology. Calculating total restriction of counties. Okay, so discussion means conclusion, I guess. Boring. Yeah, okay. This basically backed up, in fancy pants words, what I said while reading the abstract. So, to extrapolate off what Doyle said here, red-leaning counties may be more likely to donate to charity, but that's because it's real easy. By the way, donations to charities are tax deductible. It's very easy to support policies that fuck over the poor, and then turn around and knock yourself down into a lower bracket by throwing a couple G's at a local charity that you happen to like. Whereas it's much more difficult to do what left-leaning people like to do, which is to say, actually institutionally deal with the problems of income inequality, like by raising taxes and implementing welfare programs and implementing redistributive services. Those things are more common in blue counties.
We actually care about America.
Aren't there like a lot more red counties than blue counties? Yeah, there are, but I assume that but I assume that like that wouldn't factor in there. They would obviously do it on like an average per county basis.
People, we actually care about... Conservatives give more to charity. We actually care about American people.
Unless they're black, brown, woman, transgender, non-binary, an immigrant, even like relatively recently an immigrant, a criminal of any kind, a single
We actually care about
disabled,
the state of this country, because we understand that the average quality of life in the world is going to decrease significantly if America falls, but liberals just want to validate their egos.
Wait, what? Is that why? Wait. Is that why conservatives care about America? Because they realize the average quality of life around the world will decrease if America falls? Is that why they do it? Every morning, the conservative looks out their fucking window and they think, if all this goes, that would suck because the average quality of living across the world would fall. Like, what? Total fucking non sequitur. And also, definitely, citation needed on that one.
Me. I'm a good person. Look at my bumper sticker. But liberals just want to validate their egos. Me. I'm a good person. Look at my bumper sticker.
I think the, like, fake, like, Muppet, like, me. Like, that's not a good look when you already look like a child and look like you're about to cry in every fucking freeze frame. Do I need to Google, like, conservative bumper sticker car or some shit? How many times, by the way, have we been driving around our respective cities and seen cars that are fucking plastered with cringy fucking conservative shit? Like, the idea that this is like a left-leaning phenomenon is fucking hilarious. It's fucking hysterical. Man, I just got doiled again because I could never come up with a joke more funny than the idea that left-leaning people are the ones who fucking obnoxiously plaster their car in political bumper stickers. That's funnier than anything I could ever come up with.
I'm too important to focus on raising children. Allow me to just write my self-help book. Give me a break.
These are complete non sequiturs. I'm like, I'm a conservative. The reason I don't care about black people is because I'm too busy trying to pull these anal beads out of my butt. Like, okay, like, all right. They're really stuck in there. Like, okay. Cool.
Conservative narcissism is just simply leave me alone.
Oh yeah, and the fucking laptop. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys, you want to see the back of my laptop? It's a fucking laptop. I had this laptop while I was a college student, you know. And you know I'm loud about my political beliefs. Just saying.
And liberal narcissism is, no, you owe me something, so I can't.
Wait, what the fuck are we on now? God damn it. He jumps points so quickly.
Just simply leave me alone. In liberal self-help book, give me a break. Conservative narcissism is just simply leave me alone. In liberal narcissism,
Not supported by the study. Again, he's lying. That what he just said is not supported by the study.
Is, no, you owe me something, so I can't. You owe me healthcare, you owe me college, you owe me food, because I am alive and I am special, and these are my rights. No, they are not. You do not have a right to any of that. And I went in deeper with that.
Again, that also has nothing to do with the article that he is currently lying about. I do like the completely...
And these are my rights. No, they are...
unnecessary transition to the second camera that he put up here. Do you think he put this camera here just so he could look as though he has a higher production value for his set? Or do you think he did it so everyone can see his ridiculously crumpled, wrinkled, gross, ugly-looking American flag that he has plastered on his wall? Seriously. Seriously. Huh?
Do you think it's because he has fucking heck off call me down here?
Oh, yeah, it's also to show the underside. Look, he's got the underdesk, the heck off. But yeah, seriously, whether or not you hate America, like I do, or you're John Doyle, because only Nazis like America, that is a very poorly kempt flag. Run an iron over that thing. Jesus Christ.
They are not. You do not have a right to any of that. And I went in deeper with that during the UN video, which I'll put a link to in the description. There's a quote. I forgot to whom it is attributed, but it's something to the effect of, there are two types of people. People that want to be left alone and people that will not leave them alone.
This is some hard-hitting political analysis right here.
Leftists are the people who won't leave you alone.
Again, we're really getting it. Some hard-hitting political analysis.
You must, according to them, subsidize their humanities degrees with your money because Stephanie's going to change the world with her gender studies degree. Just wait. Why do you think the government expands under leftist ideology? To keep
The government actually... Huh. Bomber Fox S. This idiot complains about people plastering their cars with stickers when he plasters his laptop with stickers. The lack of self-awareness is amazing. It's amazing! That's what I'm saying. And I agree completely. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, my friend. Alright, that's military spending. This is debt relative to GDP. I'm looking for deficit. How hard should this be? Oh, goodness. Can we get this guy on stream? Thank you for the 100 bits. Which guy? Who are we getting on stream? What's happening? I'm quite certain there's a larger fucking table I can find right now that has to do with deficit spending. I know Bill Clinton was the only one to ever have like a government surplus for a period of time. Then George W. Bush fucking railed that into the ground. Ronald Reagan expanded the government. George Bush expanded the government. Bill Clinton actually put us in the fucking black than George W. Bush. There's a bigger chart on this, but I know this for a fact. The idea that the government shrinks under conservative leadership and expands under liberal leadership is factually incorrect. Space age Hitler Youth guy. This guy? Hold on. Ah, Daddy Deadmeat. Hey, Daddy Deadmeat, how do you feel about debating with a live IRL libcuck right here on stream? We'll have to finish this video first, of course.
Keep them comfortable. That's Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan pod. We're just going to keep them comfortable. They vote in favor of larger government because they feel entitled to support because they are narcissists.
Again, not founded by the study. Also, not founded by reality. Governments tend to expand, and the deficit tends to expand under conservative leadership.
And because they think that just because they are alive, they are entitled to be alive comfortably. And big government, in theory and in promise, guarantees that. But of course, it never works. And then you just happen to lose all your rights in the process. And not only that, they are so narcissistic, so...
He's just rambling right now.
Convinced that anything that deviates from their worldview is wrong, both morally and empirically.
Imagine a conservative telling a liberal that they believe anything which deviates from their worldview is wrong. Imagine a conservative saying that unironically.
That if you do not agree with them, they will shut you down, gone, deplatformed, rioters, Antifa, whatever they have to do so that you cannot speak. Because they don't care about what you have to say. They don't care about you. You do not matter because you are not on their team. You are not part of the groupthink. You are the enemy.
Just so you guys know, there was a fascinating study indicating that groupthink midst Republicans is actually way the fuck higher than it is amongst Democrats. Democrats actually vote by policy, whereas Republicans vote when they see the R next to the name. There was a phenomenal study that I remember. Fuck. It wasn't even a proper full study. It was something like, it was something along the lines that showed that, like, Democrats had like more or less a 50-50 chance of supporting a change in policy if it went along with the Democrat, but Republicans had like a 95% chance of going along with anything as long as it came from a Republican. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to cite this and sound like an idiot.
Your right to free speech is falsely conflated to be a negative externality. Therefore, it should be shut down to...
Aiden Starman Jr., thank you very much for the 100 bits again, my friend. Paydays and Butterfingers, the two best panty guys, debate me. I don't actually remember what Paydays taste like, but Butterfingers are really fucking good. I can't argue with that. And getting to lick it all off your teeth afterwards? Absolutely. No, MF Soon, that's not true. Republicans overwhelmingly vote based on identity, not by policy. Whereas, Democrats, I think, have closer to a 50-50 chance of going with one or another.
Protect their supposed right not to be offended. They will literally become physical. They will start crying, screaming if someone dares to present them with an opinion that was not told to them on...
Is there more to this, or is he just projecting? He's just... Oh, wait, he's got another study here. Queer Eye under fire after saying not all Republicans are racist. Okay, I don't necessarily care. I need feminism because I don't want to be manly. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. That's a big fucking credit
This is
sequence.
just a fact. It's been proven scientifically. It's irrefutable. Except there are people subscribing. Proven scientifically. Insane. Everyone subscribed to this channel has an IQ of 10,000. This is just a fact.
Well, this was pretty boring. Normally, John Doyle's videos are at least a little bit more fun to pick apart, but most of this was just him rambling. And I know that I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and people who disagree with me are going to watch it, and they're going to think, like, he just says rambling because he can't respond to the points. The reason why I'm saying it's rambling is because there weren't points to respond to. He was just saying things. He cited some sources, and the source that he used to provide evidence for the majority of this video, he just lied about. Nothing in the article supported his conclusions. He just made it up. He saw entitlement being a narcissistic characteristic of conservatives and was like, yeah, because we're entitled to our money and our guns. Yeah, of course, obviously. And then he extrapolated the worst conceivable things from what, like, exhibitive or exhibitionist narcissism would be on the left. So, again, there were no points even to rebuke. He was just saying things. Generally, and I know some of you are going to complain about this, generally speaking, when you're making an argument or a video full of arguments, you make a statement, and then you back that statement up with evidence, and then you reach a conclusion. But he didn't really do that here. He just stated conclusions. Do you see how that's just rambling? I mean, I can do that too. I can do... Conservatives hate Black America. In fact, conservatives hate all people with more melanin than them. They just really fucking hate melanin. And it's insane to me. When you go into a conservative's house, you will actually find crochet doilies that were done by their wives or sisters or daughters. And those crochet doilies will say, we hate melanin. They just do. They just hate it. And then they'll go out to the events. They're hockey sports rinks, and they'll go there, and when they shout at the referee, you know what they shout? They shout, I hate black people. It's insane. The right-leaning narcissism. Now, obviously, everything that I just said was ridiculous, but that was the same I provided the same amount of evidence there that he did for his arguments. So,